Hi, welcome back to another video, and today's video I'm going to talk about my life after graduating from a Polish university. So a lot of people do ask, like, after studies, what will you be doing in Poland? Like, what are the job prospects and what are the challenges after graduating from a Polish university? So today I'm going to talk about my life after graduating from a Polish university. What am I doing now and what was the challenges finding or looking for something to do in Poland? So without further ado, let's dive into the video. Hi, my name is Samuel Davidelik. Yes, Davidelik is my YouTube name, but my name is Samuel, and I graduated like last year from a Polish university, and the name of my university was Kelsey University of Technology. I studied mechanical engineering in Kelsey University of Technology. If you want to study there, you can just write in the comment section. I'll send you the link to the university's website for you to apply. So let's talk about the whole process. Yeah, so it took me 3.5 years to graduate from a Polish university. So I did bachelor's in mechanical engineering, as I told you guys, but it took me 7 years to get my bachelor's degree. I don't know where my baby is going, but where are you going, baby? Okay, so let's get back to business. So the whole process was really nice. Being a student in Poland was kind of challenging, but I think I passed through and I made it finally. So I'm going to talk about the whole transition period, like when I was writing my thesis and everything. Yeah, writing my thesis was kind of challenging because like it was something new to me, but I was so fortunate that I got my fiance who also graduated from the same university. So she told me the whole format of like writing your thesis because she was also doing her master's studies. So I think she had more information to share with me. So she kind of helped me out with the format and how to write the thesis, how to group them. So I got it from her. So my topic for my thesis was to develop a mounting plate used in CNC and also to make the manufacturing process and the technological process involved in creating this mounting plate. So I started with my theory because I have to write the theory aspect of my thesis, and with the help of my supervisor, because always I used to send him that, oh, I wrote this, so what do you think about that? Because the first stage of your thesis is for you to write the theoretical aspect. So I wrote the theory or the theoretical aspect of my thesis. So if you don't write this theory, by the end of the semester, you will not get a grade because your thesis is also like an exam. So you are going to get a grade out from your thesis. So after writing my thesis, I sent it to my supervisor, and my supervisor told me, oh, okay, someone write it in this way. So, and also, he told me to use a lot of books, so I was using like three or four books. He said, no, you have to use maybe 10, minimum 10, not 4. So I went to
Not only books, you can use artykuły naukowe.
The articles, yeah, scientific article.
Yeah, so it's not like only books. You can use another. Maybe even some movie if it's document.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, as my baby is saying, like it's not only books, you can use article, or maybe if you can watch movies, and provided if this book is like a documentary, it has something or much valuable information from that movie. So
Yeah, but it have to be like clear, and it have to be true, not like
fiction.
fantasy.
Yeah, so it does not have to be a fantasy, it has to be like a true story, not a fiction. Yeah, so after him telling me to add books, so I went on the internet, you know, to find all the available like manufacturing books that I'll get. So I used a lot of books like the Gamma books and a whole lot, but the Gamma was like one of the books that I used a lot. Yes, because like in my university, so I use like the Gamma. It really helped me a lot. They have a lot of information. So if you are a mechanical engineering student, you can go on the internet to download the Gamma book. It's very wonderful and very clear with all the explanations. So let's get to my graduation stage. So after this whole process, like, you know, I have to defend my thesis, and I was feeling happy at the same time, kind of nervous, because it was not easy. Like, okay, me writing my thesis, and I was also working at the same time, like I was doing food delivery, and it was kind of difficult, but you know, with perseverance and with determination, I was able to do all the practical aspect of my thesis and the theoretical aspect. So what is left for me is only to defend my thesis. So yeah, so on the day of defending my thesis, so it was last year, 14th February, like in Polish is Lute. Valentine. So it was Valentine Day. So Valentine Day, I said no, I have to graduate on this day, because I don't want to wait, because like the first batch of graduating in KC University of Technology was like 14th is for the first batch, those who are ready to defend their thesis. So I said, why not? Let me take this day, because I don't have another day, because I'm such a person that if I have something to do, I want to do it at once and just forget about it. So I said, yeah, let me take this day. So I prepared, you know, I'll just put a video there. So I dress up with my suit. Not tak. Wait.
You don't have yours?
I think I have which. Oh, I think I don't have. Oh, okay, I think I have. Beautiful. You know, my subscribers, they have to pay me money. I'm dying, but still I'm doing it for them. I'm freezing, so I have to use my gloves. My baby said, no, Kohania, you are freezing, so use your gloves. So yeah, so my subscribers,
I feel it on mine.
yes. So my subscribers, yeah, you have to, you know, comment and like this video, and also share to your friends who want to come to Poland.
My life is not easy, this pajac YouTuber struggle. I have to take care.
Yeah, that is your duty. Okay, so let's get back to it. So I just dressed up, you know, with my suit, because you have to wear something casual, like something formal. So I wore my suit, and I went there with my fiance, because for her, she graduated like earlier. When did you graduate, Kwani? Masters?
Masters? In June?
Yeah, in June.
In July?
Yeah, in July. Okay. So
I don't remember.
so she graduated in July. Yeah.
It was masters.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
So it was in July. So she graduated in July. So she was just on campus, just waiting for me to graduate. So after I went with her to defend my thesis, and it was really nice. I was kind of happy because I prepared all the questions, like what I have to answer, because like I have like 40 or something questions, and you have to answer 3 practical questions, no, two practical questions and 1 Oguni, like 1 from all the subjects. So it was like that. So, but you have a lot of questions to go and read, like 40 questions to go and read. So I just wrote all the answers. Now I read it like continuously.
But we had some question we have very similar, but I in Polish and you in English. So
yeah.
took my
yeah, and go. Yeah, but you know, for me to get more understanding, I have to, you know, use the English. Like I have to find my own solutions and all of that. So I did that. You know, we have to read all these questions because you don't know what will come, like, or which question, like, they are going to ask you. So you have to read all, like, everything in this paper, like all the questions you have to read all for you to get the understanding. So I went to defend my thesis, and they asked me like 2 questions. And for me, like, I think I remember, maybe I forget, like they asked me like this thing to define the tool, like one machining tool. So I just define like end mill. I just give the classification and the uses of this end mill. And also, like, for me, I thought maybe if you answer and then that is all, but not like that. They will ask you a lot of questions. They will ask you like how many teeth, like this in mill, like end mill, which one is better, this one and that. And I was kind of confused, so I have to say something, because if you don't say anything, that means you're not prepared. So I have to say what I knew or what I know of end mill. And yeah, I answered the first question and said it's okay. And they asked me another question, like to define the tool milling operation, like to use like the 2 types of milling, like this up and down milling. So I told them everything, like up and down milling. I answered it very like nice, and my supervisor was the one asking a lot of questions. She said, Samuel, okay, so which one is better? And I was there, even though I knew, but I forget. So I think that time I did not answer it properly. Yeah, I got it wrong. So because like in milling, the direction of the mill has to be like, you know, the whole operation is like you have to remove a lot of material, and at the end of tool disengagement with the material or with the model, you have to remove little material. So we start removing big material at the end, then you remove small little material. So for me, I used like different direction. I told him that like that, like because I gave him the wrong answer. I said the best one is to remove little material and remove bigger material when you are disengaging with the model. So I made a mistake. Yeah, but I graduated finally, went out, took photos. Yeah, it was really nice. I went home with my guys. Then we just went there to party, like to open my champagne and enjoy. The next day I just went back to work because man must work. So the whole transition was kind of easy and kind of difficult. So the next one left for me is to look for something to do, because if you graduate from a Polish university, like there's 2 things you can do. First one is like you can stay in Poland without applying for your temporary residence. Then you get some month for you to stay and look for another university, like to apply to other European countries, so you can stay without even applying for temporary residence. And the second one is, if you want to find job in Poland, then that means you need like a resident permit, and in Polish it's called Karta Pobytu. So you need Czasowy Pobytu. So I went there, and because I was already working, you know, when you are done with your studies, you are kind of confused. You don't know what to do. you don't know what to do the whole transition period, because you have to be looking for a job. And so I was working with Global. So in my mind, I thought, okay, I can use contracts from Global, then later look for something to do. So I went, because my friends were applying for them like one extension period for them to look for a job in Poland. And for me, I went to apply like, oh, I already have a job, so I'm applying for working permit. So we were all doing something different. But yeah, so I went with my documentation, and in Kelsey, they have like an organization, like non-profitable organization who used to help foreigners. So I went to them and they explained everything to me, the type of document I need. So I went and applied for a working permit. And along this time, my fiance was also working in other place, because she also studied mechanical engineering. So yeah, mechanical family. So yeah, she did masters in mechanical engineering. Yeah, so she find a job like in MRN, like man autobus, like man MRN. So she was working there, and I was also doing my food delivery. Yeah, because man must work. Because for me, in my mind, I thought I can use this food delivery, this thing, contract to apply. So.
But I shout on him.
yeah, so.
You are already graduated. Why you waste your time for be just a delivery? You can be constructor or whatever you want.
Yeah, so that is the truth, because she was shouting at me that, yeah, I graduated, so what am I doing? I have to find something to do, like relating to my field of studies, not food delivery. So she was shouting at me, stop a job, this and that, stop what you are doing. Yeah, so, you know, sometimes they don't know, like, we are foreigners, like we are finding a way to survive. Yeah, because sometimes we lived on documentations. We live on documents, so we don't live on this thing. We lived only on documents. So I have to find something to do. So the first thing I can do is to work with my Global. Yeah, so I understood her point, but my point was for me to survive. Yeah, so it was good. It was good push, because you need someone to push you to do something. So yeah, so it was good. So she told me, like, there's a job fair at her workplace, so I should come. And I went there. I think there was a job fair for only welders and I think and some other stuff, I forget. So she told me to come. So I went to this job fair. I don't know why these dogs are barking. They have to feed them and to stop barking. Yeah. So I went to this job fair. I met my baby. I met my baby there. So she came and met me, and we went to this HR together. So I went to this HR. Then I told them, like, I'm a welder, because like it was like a job fair for Slovenia, like welding. So I went there and I talked to this HR, and this one said, like, oh, you are a mechanical engineering student, so you are not a welder, so we can't employ you as a welder, so I should come back another time. So it took them like maybe. I think here, then we go up, probably. Okay, too. Okay, so she told me that I'm not a welder. So she told me to come back another time when there will be available vacancy in the field of my studies. So she told me to come back again. It took them like almost 3 months 3 months or 4 months. Yeah, so I was still doing my global, and I was applying. You know, the difficult thing is for you to apply to be accepted. So I was applying, but I did not get any letter from or any proposition from any company. You know, so it was kind of difficult in the beginning. So I think we have to go up here. So my baby does not know. I have to go up here.
Jeszcze wyżej?
Because okay, time 10, let's go. So I was waiting for 3 months. Then, for God be the glory, they called me, hello. I said, Chess. Yes, Samuel attack. Yes, Samuel. Like, are you Samuel attack? Kidimash Bonnie then. Okay, I said, oh, I'm free, this and that. And they said, okay, come to MIN at this time. So I was, oh my God, finally, wow. Okay, let me go. So I went there for this interview. My baby was still working there, so she came and met me. So we went to this HR office, and like there were 2 people there. So they asked me a bunch of questions, you know, in Polish. Like my interview was in Polish. So if you come to Poland, you don't have to make this mistake of not studying or not trying your best to know Polish language. It's no. When you come to Poland, please just try to study Polish language. Just know some basics, and I think like the little that you know will really help you in your job search. You know, when you are looking for something to do. Yeah. So I went there, they asked me a bunch of questions in Polish, and I answered because they wanted to know, like, okay, you'll be working with Poles, and for them they speak Polish. Even though they speak English, you know, we are going to communicate in Polish with them. So they wanted to try my capability, what I can do, or yeah, to communicate with my people. So my colleagues, yeah. So I went there, they asked me, and later this woman told me like how much I want. I said, okay, as a beginner, like 4,000 something, 4,000 above if it comes to my conto, like my account is okay. I said, okay. So she wrote it down and said, okay, come back, we'll call you. So, and this man wanted to test me if I can design or something, yeah, if I know how to use this software, because in school we use a lot of SolidWorks, and in MIN they use like CATIA V5. So they told me that, oh, Samuel, okay, let's go. So I went with him. I went to his office, and where this man's office was not far from my fiance's office, where she's also working. So I went there, and it was really nice. This man gave me his computer and told me, we are lost. We are lost. We are lost. We don't know where we are going. She's from this town, but still, she's lost. No, you're not. You're not from Krakow. You're from Stalochowice, and you are lost. Oh my God! See my life. My life is not easy.
I know this, but I need to.
We are lost. The love of you guys. We are.
Mine.
We are lost. Okay, so.
More than 1 hour.
More than 1 hour, yeah. So.
Walking.
So I went there. This man gave me like some parameters. Okay, design this and that, make this and that. Then I did it, and it's okay. You can go. So next one was like they called me again to come. So I went there, and I think they told me to prepare like a presentation. Yeah, so I did the presentations and everything, and I went there with my presentation, and they also asked me like a bunch of questions, and I answered, and they said okay, they will get back to me. Then the next call was for me to come back again. So I went there again to go and meet one woman. So I went there, I met this woman, and this woman too asked me some bunch of questions. Then later they told me that I can start working like
Robert.
Yeah, Robert. So we are lost, but we reached our destination. This part we know.
I said I know botaniczna. This is Poczkomat. I used to.
So
They take my delivery.
so we know this place. We know this place, so it's good. So okay. So they told me to come back, like they gave me like specific day for me to come. So I resumed work and it was really nice. I was kind of happy because at least, you know, I'm doing something related to.
Let's go and eat rosół.
Okay, wanna give me feeling. So it's just like, you know, I found something relating to my field of studies, and it was really nice, you know, like after graduating.
But, it takes time.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't easy to get this job. It takes time. It was really long. They interview you maybe, I don't know, 2 times.
No, 3 times.
Yeah, the same.
Like you, yeah.
So we could do it because we are together.
Yeah.
Because when they interview me, I didn't have any job.
Yeah.
So we live only with your money.
Yeah.
And later, when they interview you, you also don't have money. 1 month you have to work before they will pay you. So we pay only with my money.
Yeah.
So we couldn't do it only because we were
together. Yeah. So it was very difficult to look for a job in Poland. Like even if you speak or if you don't speak Polish, but you know, there's some advantage because a lot of companies, like I know some friends who they apply and they ask them, do you speak Polish? And they say like you don't speak Polish, and they do not call them again. So it's kind of difficult, yeah. But we were too, so we did it. Yeah, we did it. So for me, they called me to resume work, so I went to my office. You know, I met my colleagues. They were up post, and I was with them. It was really nice. They asked me my name, you know, they gave me my seat, and yeah, so it was really challenging. So now I've been working in this company from July up to now. As I'm talking to you, it's February, so from July to February, how many months, Kwani? 6 months, or I've been working there for 8 months now. And
April I will work 1 year.
1 year, so I'm working there for 8 months, and my baby in April, she will be working in MAN for 1 year. So it was really challenging from the beginning, or in the beginning, but so it was really challenging from the beginning, but I think now everything is okay. It makes sense now. I'm working, and I've been working for 8 months. So my life after graduation was tough, but with determination and with good people surrounding you, I think, yeah, it was really nice. And what else? What can I say again? Yeah, so now my colleagues too, they are very nice. Like they try to help me. My coordinator try to help me each and every time, try to put me through the process, because like manufacturing of bus, electric bus, and a whole bunch of stuff is not easy, so you need someone to coach you. So I'm in an internship stage where they are teaching me, they are putting me through the whole process, what the documentation and everything, like for me to be perfect, so that after 2 years of internship I will be a specialist in designing of buses. So it was really nice. Poland is good. It was challenging, but still it was really nice to be in Poland. So yeah, so if you really like this video, just like, comment, share to your friends, and if you want to ask me something, just comment in the comment section. So without wasting much time, see you in my next video. Ciao.